Hey, good morning to you all. We are looking at a live view of the city of Fountains. A little bit of sunshine glaring through. You can see that with the color that's reflected off some of our skyscrapers right now. But off to the north, you can see how it gets hazier and hazier and hazier. Dense fog is out there. We've got shower activity as well that's developing up north, just north actually of the metro, up around Buchanan County, Atchison County, Donovan, Holt counties, along Interstate 29, and trying to stretch on over to Interstate 35 where we're seeing that fogginess. That's growing. We've got first warnings in place due to wet weather today. We also have an opportunity for us to get into a winter mix. But wait, there's more. A drop in temperature, something fierce, a shock to the system compared to today, right on into tomorrow, and then a big winter weather threat lies for our weekend forecast. We've got higher confidence in it. We're going to talk more about it, what we believe is going to happen, what is a little outrageous right now that we're going to show you as well in our forecast data. There's a lot to discuss here. So good morning to you all. First Warn 5 meteorologist Greg Bennett here. I'm going to take you out first and foremost to a live look of our radar system where we are dealing with some scattered shower activity. And you can see that again up around St. Joe, really into Holt County is where we're seeing a lot of that wet weather right now. That wet weather is going to grow. This is just the isolated stuff that we're dealing with right now. But it will definitely impact us here to the metro. Let me show you what that may look like as we move forward in time. If I could find that forecast for you. Here we are. And as we grow into the mid-afternoon, that's where it becomes a bit more scattered for us. You can see the rotation of that low, actually, because it's a low pressure system we're dealing with. See that rotation? And see the center of it is literally like, you can watch the center through Paola, Harrisonville, and Clinton. That's the center of the low itself. But you can see how we get into some heavy greens and yellows. That's indicative of heavy downpours, maybe even some thunderstorm activity. Northern side of the low, do you see that? Northern side, that's blue. That's snow. That is snow joke. Okay, that was a joke. That was a terrible joke. But that is real snow that we're looking at here. Maybe a winter mix that comes through. But it is on the backside of the low pressure system. It's pulling this cold Canadian air down. And it's so cold during this time frame of about 11 p.m. at night that we could actually get into some frozen precipitation right here to the metro. This goes through the very early morning time frame of our Tuesday. Should be gone by the time we come back live for the morning newscast at 4:30 a.m. technically. But the accumulation is plausible. It's out there for us. It's not much, but it could definitely blanket some of your front yards, your backyards out there. Let me show you what we're talking about. This will bring you all the way to getting into our Tuesday late morning. And as you can see, we're down to about 1/4 of an inch that we could see off of this system. Maybe up to around 2 inches towards Maryville, 1 inch around Cameron and Bethany. So we're honing in on this. But it is something that we're tracking for you. It shouldn't be super detrimental to the forecast, but if it melts on the roadways and then it refreezes, we may have an issue with some icy conditions, especially in neighborhoods or sidewalks. Take that into consideration because, listen, we're going to take a dive with these temperatures. We're going to go from 50 degrees this afternoon, mind you, with that wet weather, down to the 30s for daytime highs into our Tuesday, our New Year's Eve. 37 degrees looking to be the high. Your New Year's Eve celebration forecast? Oh, you can't see it because my face is in the way. Here we go again. Give me a second. There we go. Partly cloudy. It'll be dry for much of the day, New Year's Eve. And then by midnight, maybe we could officially call that New Year's Day, the wind chill should be between 10 degrees and 19 degrees because the morning low temperatures are going to be in the 20s. And we've got a bit of wind out there that we're going to have to deal with the backside of that low pressure system. So cold air is really going to smack the area pretty quick here. And it gets even colder with this next big storm system on deck. Remember, today we've got 50s. By the weekend, 28 degrees. Single-digit feel-like temperatures in the morning are absolutely plausible. So there's our cold air. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this next winter storm system. This is where it gets kind of interesting. I'm going to bring myself back here. I'm sorry, I've got a little something in my throat. I'm trying to clear it out. So I apologize if I'm trying to clear my throat with you guys. Let's move forward into Saturday. because this could be the first round of getting into maybe some winter mix off of this large area of low pressure that comes in from the north and west. Very minimal through the day, but it does grow, and about 8 p.m. at night, we start to see this transition over towards I-70 and the metro. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because as we move on into Sunday morning, notice the snowfall is more likely to the north here at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be way below the freezing mark. Okay, so I believe that this is a little off on winter mix and snowfall. Just in general, I think we're going to see a better chance for snow development around the early morning of our Sunday rather than actually getting into a wintry mix because of where we are with our temperatures. So just take that into consideration. It then continues to grow easily back to snowfall by the evening of Sunday, and we're talking 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it goes right through the overnight, clear into Monday morning, finally exiting by about 10 or 11 a.m. on Monday. That's a long period of time to collect snowfall, okay? Now, what makes this interesting? What makes this very interesting is that this was only one of our extended forecast data runs. I've got several different models, several different algorithms being used, and they are all giving us somewhat the same perspective as the one that I just showed you. So what I'm saying is that there's consistency across several different models using different algorithms, and there means that there's more confidence in this to occur. Now, is it actually going to occur on Saturday, Sunday, Monday? That might alter as we go through the next several days. We've got to watch the speed of this low pressure system. Does a dry air mass take over for us and kind of hold or linger to the area? Does it slow the system down? Does it speed up? That timing might change for us a little bit. But the actual event itself is looking likely for our area, and I want you to be prepared for it for this weekend. Now, I'm going to show you snow totals, okay? What we're predicting the snow totals to be. And I'm going to put this with a big old asterisk on it to take this with a grain of salt. Do not look at this and say, this is what's going to happen, okay? This is just giving you a very rough idea of what day 6 and 7 and 8 technically may produce, which is a long, far way out period of time. And a lot can happen to the variance of our atmosphere during that time frame as well. But it's just going to give us a very rough idea of what to expect. Here we go. This is the weekend. This is really Saturday through early Monday morning. Sorry. There it is. 6 to 12 inches. 3 to 5 inches off around I-70 in the metro, traced to 2 inches further south. 6 to 12 inches of snow. Now, don't get me wrong, from what we're seeing in the future forecast data, you know, there's a long period of time there in the cold air and snowfall to maybe bring that kind of accumulation. But we're going to see some alterations to this. Don't get married to these values. They are going to change. But I want you ready. All right? That's what KCTV5 is all about. That's what the First Warn 5 weather team is all about. First warning you of big inclement weather patterns. Whether they're just going to kind of mess up your routine a little bit, or they may be something a bit more extreme like this. I want you to be ready for it, okay? So that's a big storm system that we're going to be monitoring next. It could be our first real winter storm system of the year. If we see these kinds of values hold to the forecast, we might get our first winter storm warning of the new year. So it is something that we need to track closely. Now, what this means, though, is that this could usher in a significant cold air blast. A significant cold air blast. So I want to talk about that as well. I've got this coming through. We've got the jet stream working with us, and then we've got the storm system itself. And going through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then finally into next week. This is all the way through Thursday and Friday of next week. So we're talking 14 days out. Right? I mean, that's basically where we're at. Really, it's 10 days out. We're at about 10 days out here. I want to show you that this cold air that slams us may bring us all the way down to single-digit daytime highs. this could possibly bring us even into negative values for actual air temperatures. Okay? But we're talking about January 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Okay? So not this week, but we're literally talking way next week. Okay? That this could occur. All right? That's the next big thing that we're monitoring here as well after this winter storm system. So significant cold air is somewhere in our future, and I want you to be prepared for that as well. All right, guys, that is your forecast. It is 7:51 in the morning. I have to get back downstairs and get ready for a live cut-in with CBS Mornings there, which is our national programming. We're going to get into a little bit more detail on today's local forecast. But now you know, big winter storm system is on the way for the weekend, and we could be seeing some significantly, I mean significantly cold air as we move on into next week just in general. All right, be prepared for it. I'm going to leave you with a live look over kind of a hazy city of Fountains here, Kansas City. Got gray skies, wet weather to the north, some denser fog out to the north here. So far, we're looking at decent enough visibility for you to get from point A to point B here to the city limits.